It was his look of compassion. As I hung there on the cross and he gazed into my eyes, it was his look of compassion that broke through. It had been a long time since I had felt anyone's compassion. My mother died when I was 7. My father was a drunkard whose idea of encouragement was to call me an idiot and to tell me to leave him alone. So after a few years, I did. I was living on the streets by the age of 10, where I had learned how to be tough, how to be hard, not to let others in, not to let them get to me. It's also where I learned to steal. I began committing petty crimes when I was 10. I committed armed robbery when I was 15. I killed a man by the time I was 20. For the next 20 years, I was the kind of man people didn't want to be around. The kind of person people whispered about behind my back. Finally, I was caught with a partner, a friend named Levi, and when our crimes were read out before the judge, we were sentenced to be crucified. He said we were hopeless causes. Early the next morning, we carried our crosses from Jerusalem to the place of crucifixion. I was determined I wasn't going to let them see me cry. I was going to be tough, take it like a man. But inside I was terrified. There was a third person with us, Jesus of Nazareth. It was amusing to me that I was being crucified with Jesus of Nazareth. Of course, I'd heard of him, but never seen him personally. Some among my friends had gone to hear him speak. Jesus had even eaten with them. I heard some of the girls, too, that they had found religion by listening to Jesus. And here he was. They claimed he was God's Messiah. Strange Messiah, befriending sinners and prostitutes. If I believed in God, that's the kind of Messiah I would want. But I didn't, and so I was sure he wasn't. Yet I could tell you this, I could not take my eyes off of him. Told myself I wouldn't flinch. I wouldn't let them break me, but as soon as that spike was hammered into my hand, I cried out. When they hoisted me into the air, I cried out again. Levi too let out a shriek. A huge crowd came out for his crucifixion, but they didn't come for Levi or myself. They were virtually ignoring us. They were all focused on Jesus. The money changers, the religious leaders, the Romans, all those hypocrites, they all stood around him, hurling insults at him. I was so grateful they weren't ridiculing me that I joined in with the mocking. So did Levi. After I had hurled a particularly vicious insult at him, he turned and he looked at me. His gaze pierced my soul. He looked at me as if he could see right through me. He looked at me with compassion. Even in my pain, I found myself drawn to this man. I heard him cry out, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." He was talking about us. And then, once again, Levi hurled another insult at him, and I yelled out, "Levi, shut up! This man has done nothing wrong. We deserve what we're getting, you know that. But this man, what did he do? Levi, stop it!" And then, for reasons I still don't understand, I turned to Jesus and said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." He replied, "Truly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise."